Before we get into this special weekend edition of Just the Truth, let me tell you about the latest special from Mike Lindell at MyPillow. The standard MyPillow, normally $49.98, for a limited time only, just $14.88 with promo code Joey. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, and see all the specials. There's a limited quantity of just 10 at this special price. That's $14.88 with promo code Joey. Thanks for joining me in the PhD Weight Loss Studio. To lose weight for the last time, visit myphdweightloss.com. Special guest joining me today, Mr. Gallagher. How are you, sir?
I'm a guest on my own show. I like this. I like this a lot. You're letting me come in.
You do well. We'll have you back often.
It's like an audition. We'll see how I do, and maybe I can come back Monday.
There you go. Yes.
No. Everybody's gotten very, very familiar and become big fans of the Joey Hudson contribution to the Mike Gallagher show, and nobody likes it better than I do. So it's but nice to visit with you here on a Friday.
It is wonderful. And hey, speaking of visiting, you're going to be visiting pretty soon. We have a big event coming up, the Freedom Farm Fest out on the farm. We're going to have some good food, music, and of course, Mike Gallagher.
I mean, I think the coolest thing about this is that I've been telling audiences about going to the Hudson farm for years, and a whole lot of our listeners know about the beeline that I make to Hudson Farm. It's kind of neat because it's your family farm. It's been in your family for many, many years, many generations, and it's a beautiful spread. It's a beautiful venue. It's going to be a perfect place for the Freedom Farm Fest. And a big thank you to the 4th Congressional District folks for putting this together along with Tuck and Howell, because this is something we've had in the works for a long time, and we never, scheduling wise, we never got to it. And so next weekend is the big show.
Well, and actually, you may recall we had it scheduled last fall, and this thing, Hurricane Helene, happened to come through, and we had to, of course, postpone it. But it's going to be great fun. I've had a lot of people texting and email me and see me out on the street. We talk about it, so we're going to have a great time. We've got political candidates coming by. It's going to be like an old style stump rally.
Yeah.
Because of course, you're going to be speaking, but we have other political candidates. We have a couple of special elections here in the area. A Senate seat, Senator Roger Nutt had to retire because of health issues, so his Senate seat is up for grabs. We have 4 or 5 candidates running for that, and then a House member resigned his seat, Bobby Cox, in order to run for the Senate seat. So we have a special House seat running too. So we're going to have a lot of candidates coming through too.
Well, I love the way that you put it. It's a good old-fashioned kind of a stump event, and what I appreciate is that it's a whole bunch of like-minded patriots getting together and just talking about what we're up against, not only here in South Carolina, but throughout the country. There's all these questions about, these federal judges who are trying to be president and overturn every bit of the Trump agenda. Look, this week we talked a lot about Tim Kaine. Here's a Virginia senator not even understanding the fundamental basis for our country, and that is that our unalienable rights come from God. Doesn't even know that. Said on the floor of the Senate, well, we sound like Iran, or that's not what we will. Our rights come from government. And so we're facing all of these headwinds, but we also have a lot of momentum at our backs. And so this is a good time. I think of talk radio and I have a huge poster from a movie that I saw years ago called Talk Radio. And it's actually based on a true story, a fascinating story of a talk show host, a real acerbic, controversial, far left guy, as I understand it, in Denver, named Alan Berg. And he was shot and killed by a disgruntled, fan. But the movie has a poster that says Talk Radio, the last great neighborhood. And I love that poster, and I've had that poster in every one of my offices over all the years, starting in Greenville, and then off to New York, and now here in Florida, because that's what we are. And frankly, Joey, there are very few radio stations in the country that equal what 98.9 WORD does. This is one of the last, and I'll be blunt here, and I'll say this candidly and with full transparency, this is one of the last stations that is a solid number one that everybody in the whole region listens to, talks about. What you do early in the morning, and Tara and Bill and Charlie, what we bring to the audience is reflected in the ratings and the success of the station. And it, frankly, there aren't, with all the different choices people have now, with all the different platforms, all the different, podcasts and everything out there, This is one of the last true original powerhouse flamethrowers. And that's why being on this station every day from 10 to noon, for you to be on the station every morning at 5 a.m. with Carolina Sunrise and your weekend presence and all that you do with me on the show, it's so meaningful because we're really this is one of the last of a model that used to always be the case. Used to be there was just a handful of talk stations in the country, and they were the powerhouses. Well, now WORD is one of the remaining powerhouses in the country, and it's evidenced not only by the ratings, but the way the station sounds. It's one of the best sounding stations in the country. So anyway, I say all of that to just celebrate getting together with you and so many of our friends who support the station. Of course, the station personnel will be there. We'll have, like you said, political folks there. And I'm looking forward to just shaking hands and having some great fellowship and food at the beautiful, highly acclaimed, very famous Hudson Farm. And that's a week from tomorrow, right, Joey?
That's right. It is on September the 13th. We're going to kick off at 6 p.m. And if you'd like to get your ticket, do so today because they're going quickly, and we made it real simple for you. Just text the keyword farm to the MyPillow text line, 800-655-MIKE, 800-655-6453. Text the keyword farm. We'll send you the information so that you can get your ticket today.
Right, and you can also go to News Talk 98.9 WOR. I always get this wrong. Is
98.9 WORD.
98.9WORD.com. Sorry about that. Yeah. I just got demoted. I'll get yelled at. 98.9 WORD.com for tickets, or text the keyword farm to 800-655-MIKE. We'll send you back the link, and come on out and join us. We're going to have a great time a week from Saturday.
It is going to be a nice, fun evening. Some good food, some good music, and of course, some good times with Mike Gallagher. Looking forward to having you, my friend.
Hey, and me too. And it's like you said, we started out kind of it was like a welcome back, Joey and Mike, to WORD. Well, some time has passed, so now we're just going to continue to celebrate the what we get to do together every day. You and me fighting the good fight, and I'm glad to do that in the Upstate. Can't wait to see you next week, my friend.
See you then. Your comments are welcome on the Furman Ford text line, 864-477-JOEY. That's 864-477-5639. Emails always welcome, joey@joeyhudson.com. Pepsi of Greenville is a brand with deep roots in upstate South Carolina. The story started back in 1940 when Tom Hartness opened Greenville's first Pepsi franchise with just 14 employees and 5 trucks. 5 years later, Hartness changed the industry by building the first case packer, a breakthrough that launched Hartness International right here in Greenville. Then in 1982, Carolina Canners, an independent privately owned cooperative out of Sherrall, acquired Pepsi of Greenville, and to this day, Pepsi of Greenville remains one of the few independent Pepsi franchises in the Carolinas region, where many franchises are still family-owned, some more than a century. Now, joining me on my guest line today is Brian Hightower. He and the team at Pepsi of Greenville carry forward the principles that Tom Hartness set when founding the company so many years ago. From their State Park Road facility, they serve retailers, restaurants, schools, entertainment venues, businesses in the area, but they don't just deliver beverages. They invest in the community, supporting local nonprofits, youth programs, schools, first responders, and events that strengthen the quality of life here in the Upstate. Brian Hightower, welcome, and thanks for all you guys do in our community.
Thank you, Joey, and I'm glad to be here today.
Well, we appreciate it. And when I talk about how involved Pepsi of Greenville is in the community, I mean, it's an understatement. I don't know how to explain it because it's like every organization that I'm involved with, Pepsi is doing something. I mean, Crime Stoppers of Greenville, for example, for many, many years, you guys have been supporters. And, of course, Today, we're going to talk about Lead Upstate, another great organization that supports law enforcement here in Greenville. Let's talk for a minute, Brian. You have served as a Lead Upstate committee member for several years. What motivated you to get involved with this event in the first place?
Well, Joey, you mentioned earlier, as far as Greenville, Pepsi of Greenville's longtime commitment to community. And this is just one of the many charities or organizations that we've been honored to be a part of. And back in 2022, Tim Brett reached out to me, and once he shared the story of LEAD and its mission, it was no question. And so fundamentally, LEAD is all about thanking and honoring the men and women of our law enforcement here in Greenville County. And we really resonated with me. So I strongly believe in the community service, and this is just an opportunity for us to give back to those who risk so much for us every day. And watching the event grow year after year, it's inspiring.
Yeah.
And knowing that you're a part of something that truly makes a difference, that's what keeps me coming back every year.
Yeah. You know, it is just amazing to be down there on that morning and you see the cars start lining up very early. We start at 6 a.m. And it's just, as you said, inspiring to see that. You know, LEAD has become one of the largest, if not the largest, law enforcement appreciation events in the upstate. From your involvement on the committee, what do you think makes this event so impactful?
I think from my perspective, it's the personal connection. When officers and their families drive through the line of gratitude, they experience firsthand how much the community appreciates them. And we've had officers say it multiple times. It means the world to their families just in the show of support. And then that kind of encouragement goes far beyond this one single day. I know you said the line starts at 6, but it's countless hours of planning and preparation, and it does build long-lasting trust and appreciation between law enforcement and the people that they serve every day.
Yeah. Brian, Pepsi of Greenville, as I mentioned, has been a strong supporter of Lead Upstate for many years now, from the beginning. Why do you think this particular cause has been so important to your company to stand behind?
Well, you spoke to it earlier when you shared the story of Pepsi of Greenville and how we're anchored in those core values that was passed down from the Hartness family. So we're stewards to carry that on, and whether it's in the work or the integrity, but just the genuine care for our associates in the community that we live in. So supporting the LEAD just allows us to live those core values out loud.
Yeah. And let's talk about that. Let's be specific to a degree here. And with me today, Brian Hightower with Pepsi of Greenville. We're talking about Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. If you'd like additional information, you can go to leadupstate.com, and see all the various organizations that are supporting this great effort coming up on September the 19th. What does Pepsi of Greenville's involvement in LEAD look like? I mean, talk about some of the things that you guys do.
We do support LEAD through sponsorship, but we also do it through product donations, and we also do it through volunteer hours. So many of our team members, we're supporting behind the scenes. You're familiar with it, but some of what the officers receive are wellness kits. So we help to package those wellness kits, get those together. We, in the coordinating delivery of products, and then for the day of, when our team shows up, as you mentioned earlier, dark 30 for the day of the event, we help to set up. When the line starts, we're helping to direct the line, handing out our products as well as biscuits and basically whatever's needed. So for us, it's personal. It's our opportunity to say thank you face to face with the officers and their families.
Yeah. Let's talk for a minute, Brian, about Pepsi of Greenville. Now, obviously, your name says it, Pepsi, but you also have other products other than just Pepsi. So talk about the company and the products and your team over there.
So we do. I mean, it's grown significantly in this day and age. People are looking for more alternatives and more options than ever before. So PepsiCo is a global leader in innovation in products, both in carbonated, non-carbonated beverages. And again, we support and look to meet every need from those consumers.
Yeah. As we mentioned, you have been involved with Lead Upstate for many, many years. Pepsi has been from the beginning. After all these years of involvement, do you have a favorite memory or a certain moment that just really stands out to you?
Man, countless memories, Joey. And, something that comes to mind, I know we only have a few minutes, but this is the real good stuff. So if you'll allow me just to paint a picture, but there's a lot of work and anticipation that goes into this event each year. But the day of the event, it's the 5:30 in the morning, and it's that Friday fall, brisk air going, cruise lights are on, the road is paved with law enforcement as far as you can see. And while the officers are sitting there waiting patiently in their line, knowing that they either are coming off shift or going on shift. But then as the line starts to move and one by one you interact with the officers, you see their faces, each one of them has a family, they have a story. But then to hear them say their appreciation for us being there that day on site and doing what we do, it's very humbling. It's rewarding, and it's just immense gratitude that we see from them, and that's certainly just unforgettable.
Yeah. Walk us through that. Let's start at 6 a.m., and obviously, as you mentioned, there's a group of us there much earlier to get set up, but for people who have never seen this or don't really know what is involved with Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, walk us through what happens that morning from the time that the line starts coming through.
So we're at the front of the line. Our team is there. And as that line, we open it up, as you said, at 6 a.m. There's a group of support from the very start. And, bringing those individuals through there, start to talk to them and interact with them. It leads off with we start giving them breakfast, Chick-fil-A biscuits, and then it comes on down and we start giving them some of our products. And we're going to do Celsius and Bubbler this year for their officers. And then you move on through and you get to the coffee line and, there's some other, I don't want to give it all away, but there is, other stations throughout there where they'll receive a Valor bag. There's also an entry for prize drawings that the officers can pre-register for. So if they did win a prize, they can pull to the side when they get towards the end of the line. But throughout that entire sequence, each of those stations, we're not just standing there in line handing stuff out. We're engaging. We're wanting to let them know beyond a shadow of a doubt our appreciation for them and just be the voice of the community to say thank you for what you do each and every day. Yeah.
And as you said, and we talked about it earlier, to kind of interact with the officers as they come through, some of them getting off of their overnight shift, some of them getting ready to start, but just the appreciation and the excitement leading up to this and the gifts. And we give away some pretty neat gifts. I mean, from firearms to TVs, grills. I mean, there's a whole list of things throughout the week that are given away to these officers. And it's just a small thing to say, hey, look, we appreciate you. We know that what you do is dangerous. It's become a cliche, but, they never know when it could be their last day. When they get up and put their uniform on, yep, that could be the last time they do that. Unfortunately, that happens way too often.
Yes, sir. It does.
So, and Brian Hightower is with me today with Pepsi of Greenville. We're talking about Lead Upstate. It takes a lot of people to be involved, and Pepsi, of course, has been a big sponsor, and we truly appreciate that. We have the support of other organizations like CPI Security Systems, Bond Secure Wellness Arena, Marchant Real Estate, Clardy Law Firm. I'm just reading from the list here. Canteen, Design Lab, Cogdell Law Firm, Hampton Inn and Suites, Embassy Suites, and Windsor Altry Group. Brian, what would you say to other companies or individuals who might be considering supporting LEAD?
It simply is summed up in just saying, get involved. You know, this is more than a donation. It's an investment in our community to build continued trust and respect. So if you're curious about the event, you gave the website, I believe, earlier, but it's www.leadupstate.com. And there's also a video in there, and it's showing just what the picture we tried to paint earlier of what actually happens on that day of the LEAD event. And if you would like to take the next step, there's a donate button right there on the site where you can go and you can contribute individually or as a business to this year's event, and we would certainly welcome you to do that.
Yep. Again, that's leadupstate.com. You'll see the donate button there. You can also send us a quick email. You can through the contact button there if you're interested in, or if you have questions, because there are a lot of opportunities at a lot of different levels. And that leads me to, we're talking about September the 19th is Law Enforcement Appreciation Day for this year. But Brian, we're already starting to talk about next year as we head into, and so it's not too early to go ahead and start thinking about how you might be involved in 2026, right?
That is correct. Yeah, because you said it. You're part of that committee yourself, and whether it's in the T-shirts, the coins, the Valor bags, the prizes, that takes an immense amount of dedicated effort from the LEAD committee to make that happen each year. So support is always welcome. You can never plan too much.
Yeah. Brian Hightower with Pepsi of Greenville. Again, I can't tell you just how much we appreciate what Pepsi does for Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, but not just that day. We appreciate what you guys do around throughout the year for so many organizations throughout the community. Let me say thank you for that, for a lot of different groups out there that you help throughout the year. One final thing is, September the 19th is just around the corner. We've been working all year for this. Is there anything in particular that kind of excites you about this year's particular day? I painted that picture earlier on the morning of. That's the adrenaline rush. It's the anticipation, just like Christmas morning is. And each year the event continues to grow, the reach, the impact, the number of officers and their families who come through. It's just a continuation of momentum. So I look forward to welcoming even more of our law enforcement heroes this year and beyond to ensure that they are not only seen or supported, but they're known that they are appreciated. And that's the message that we want to convey to them each and every day. Yeah, absolutely. Brian, again, thanks so much. And, hey, I look forward to seeing you on the 19th.
That sounds great, Joey. And thank you again. I appreciate all your time and support.
That's it for this special weekend edition of Just the Truth. Thanks for joining me in the PhD Weight Loss Studios. To lose weight for the last time, visit myphdweightloss.com. If you haven't joined my mailing list yet, visit my website, joeyhudson.com. Click on the Connect with Joey button so that you can receive our emails and the most up-to-date news. Also, join me on my YouTube channel. Be sure and like, comment, and subscribe. Just search for Joey Hudson. As always, thanks for spending a few minutes of your day with me. Do me a favor and forward this episode to a few friends. Just click on the share button and send to your contacts. We need to build an army of conservatives to win our country back, and we can do that by continuing to share the truth with our friends and family. Keep those comments coming via the Furman Ford text line 864-477-JOEY. Email to joey@joeyhudson.com, and I love your messages on the MyPillow message line. Again, that's 864-477-JOEY, 864-477-5639. Be sure and take advantage of the MyPillow special, just $14.88 on the standard MyPillows when you use promo code Joey. Order online at mypillow.com or call 800-893-4053. We're back again tomorrow and hope you'll plan to join us. Until then, remember, God's got this. He's still in control.